Hello everyone, I'm Kibitz and welcome back to Cities Skylines, where I am building the worst city imaginable. And my goodness, am I inspired today. There's this new proposed city development plan in Saudi Arabia that I am dying to recreate. If you haven't seen it though, the project's called The Line. An entire city that's enclosed in this glass case that is just one line forward and back. And they've made an absolutely beautiful commercial for it, showing off all the amenities that are going to be inside, how easy public transport's going to be there, and how eco-friendly it will be. And from how they present the whole thing, it actually looks pretty cool, right? Of course it does. But if you haven't put it together by now, advertising lies to you. And put it into practice, I'm certain this city is going to be an absolute disaster. So I thought we would create it in Cities Skylines first. And if you're excited to see this project come to life, remember to subscribe and leave a like, because it helps me out a lot. But anyway, let's get started. So I've kind of subdivided my city into all these blocks, and for building something like The Line, we're gonna need a very long block. And I'm thinking we could do that right here. If we just got rid of this canal, we could make our line right here. And getting things started, we're gonna make a pretty nice city. Or at least so it will seem until later on. But what the heck, that automatically built a bridge, that's cool. But yeah, the center area is just gonna have bus lanes and transit for people to move and groove without having to drive. So that's a good start. But we need this to be a quote unquote green city. So I suppose we can do like cycling and walking paths all over the place. And since we're going very vertical with this, we want to build everything on top of the roads if we possibly can, because we can't build like stacked buildings on top of each other. So I'll have cycling on one side and then just a simple walking path on the other. And we'll connect these paths up to the most important pieces of infrastructure, like schools, major workplaces, and all that kind of jazz. And we'll focus utilities in like utility squares. We'll have one in the middle, then one on the right and one on the left. Let's just try and make one. So first we just have the road in there. No, we do not need cycling lanes on the road, but we do need to have the cycling lanes at least hit the road so people can get to their destinations. Same deal with the walking paths, of course. And underneath all these paths, we can put some services, like police, probably, right? Okay, it's being a little finicky, but we will get these services in here. Okay, so I had to reorganize a little bit of stuff, but generally speaking, we got it. And I've added in a new path right down the center, because why not? More walkability means it's a greener city, right? Or at least we can market it that way. But now we're gonna start to run into a couple problems. If it's a city, obviously we need to have trash collection, right? So there has to be a dumpster somewhere in here. And especially for the modeled city, I'll be honest, I'm not super confident they're gonna handle the trash problems too well. So we won't either. And we'll just bury the trash bins underneath some roads. Then we'll just add in some schools to make things extra awful. But I suppose it does keep the smelly kids by the stinky garbage, so hey, I suppose the problem's contained. But then from there, we just have all the walking paths kind of go around it and above, so people can rock and roll. Connect that up to our existing infrastructure. And of course, let people get down to the schools and stuff, like so. And with the rest of the space, we'll just cram in a couple utilities where we can. Like death care, specifically, is gonna be really important. And I suppose like an extra fire hall can't hurt. But you know what? I just got the best idea. Why do I have like a bus transit lane in the middle? Why don't we use trams? Everybody loves trams. And more importantly, it'll look better in our marketing material. So of course we gotta throw these in. Oh, I didn't even think about this, but for the tram lines in the middle, now there's a little spot for the pillars for that path. So I'll move those all over later. In the meantime, check out this other little block I built. So same kind of principle. We have a elementary school here, which I just was like, why don't we just put it into the trash? Because they're kids, right? What are they gonna do? Vote? So we can just put them where they belong. Snuck in a little modern high school here too, with a walking path right next to the window, and also almost attached to the highway. An incineration plant just for some extra garbage and power, and some other utilities. All the paths are just going all over the place so people can walk and bike wherever they want to enjoy their wonderful city living experience. And then at the end of the line, we have our big tram stop. This is where all the trams come out of and they can scoot around the city, dropping people off, taking them to where they need to be, and everyone will be happy. Speaking of, it's about time we got everybody in here. Let's do some zoning. So on the outside, we're mostly gonna have the civilian residents mucking about. Then near the industrial centers here, we're gonna have a lot of stores. And every so often, we're gonna sneak in a little bit of industry. Not enough to cause a fuss or poison the people too bad, but just enough so the city is a little self-sufficient. Because that's the thing, right? Especially with the real life version of this whole place. How are they gonna ventilate all of the air to go to proper places? Like, the smells are just gonna get stuck in areas, and the same thing's gonna happen with pollutants too. Like, although it's a green city, it will have industry. It needs to have industry in order to actually function. But then again, the whole point of the project is not really to make a functioning city. It's a little bit more sinister. But we'll get into that aspect of things in a bit. I really just want to take a moment here and finish up all the zoning. Plus add in some extra little decals, like a little power plant here. This is technically a university building. And also, I came up with a name for our project. The Edge. As obviously the line was taken, so now it's the edge of sanity. Oh yeah, and there's a little escape kind of thing for people to scoot over to other parts of the city, in case they ever wanted to go to the super suffer block. Plus the highway connection's all done up too, going over to our horrific tornado of torment, where all of our city's traffic accumulates. But it all works out, it just goes to a different layer, everything will be fine. And we are ready to rock and roll. Let's let the city wait. Okay, good. Let's let the city come to life. Wonderful. Move in quick while you can, especially. Your time is limited. So you know how I was mentioning how sinister this city design was? Well, that's because it really isn't a city at all. It's a walled garden to keep poor people out. That's the whole point of it. You obviously didn't believe the commercials for this city were just to make a beautiful habitat for all of society? Of course not. Are you insane? Or worse, are you believing marketing? Come on. But Kibitz, it's supposed to be the perfect city. Why would you put an elementary school in a dumpster? Well, of course, so most kids don't have a good shot at life. None of these systems will work if everybody's successful. But a few do get to be lucky, and they'll go to this nice little green school over here. But final thing we have to do, now that the jig is up, is we're just gonna build a whole wall around the entire place. Two-layered one as well. We'll have the nice like wooden fence for people to look at, and then the actual fence to keep people out. And we'll probably just make like some kind of no-go zone type area in between both fences. And with that, our little edge society is complete. Plus, we even have a big security gate now at the front. It's perfect. Except there's one detail that's missing. An expansive, filthy slumland that is inevitably gonna end up on the outside of the wall. You don't think this place would be isolated, right? No! All the people that built the city will then be trapped outside of it, in a politely named workers' commune. And with that, I'd say the city is complete. Now we just need a really good commercial to sell the city to the world. So welcome to The Edge, a beautiful, advanced city on the cusp of innovation, complete with all the amenities a sustainable city needs, like extensive public transit, elevated walking and biking paths, and a massive double-layered wall to keep poor people out. The Edge is also net zero carbon emissions, and a leader in green technologies. All garbage we do end up burning is offset by like 20 or so trees that we planted. And also, did I mention public transit? Yes, we do have that. As well as cutting-edge security, world-class education, and efficient zoning regulations that promote synergy between industrial, commercial, and residential areas. So join us in our beautiful city of the future and start living on the edge today. But anyway, that is gonna be all for now, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching. But have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye-bye.